Christmas Eve, and we got orders to bring in Santa Claus.
Merry Christmas from my dark corner of this sick world.
I feel sorry for you.
We reviewed Silent Night, Deadly Night 10 years ago, and now we're finally getting around to its sequel.
No, it's not worth it. Don't be a fool. Don't do it.
Following Ricky Caldwell, brother of the first film's Billy, who does a mean impression of Bugs Bunny.
F off, Doc.
Ricky is in an asylum, and as the film progresses, we learn what's wrong.
Your brother's in that case, that's what's wrong.
As a psychologist digs for the root of his issues.
Santa Claus.
And we're into a flashback from the first film.
It was rough on both of us. And Christmas time was always the worst.
Followed by another.
Mother Superior got him a job at the local toy store.
And another.
It was something to see. Cops stopping every Santa between here and the state line.
And this is why we waited so long to review it. A third of this film is taken from the first.
Oh, shit.
Good news for fans of Linnea Quigley.
Well, maybe we're just jerking off here then.
Bad news, this is intercut with Ricky, who has been taking classes in dramatic acting.
Well, what makes you think you can your way into my head? Like every other pencil-neck piece of shit.
For those who don't remember the first film,
I was just a baby and Billy was only 7.
which really ought to include Ricky himself, him and his family were on their way home.
I don't know what made him stop.
Who's that?
Actually, I do know what made him stop.
Not particularly lucid, but not bad for a baby.
How could you possibly remember all that?
Because I was there.
Well, I'm convinced. They meet a carjacker dressed as Santa Claus. Admirable commitment to staying in character. Thus were sowed the seeds of Billy's psychosis, strengthened by an abusive nun.
But when we do something naughty, we are always caught. And then we are punished.
Leaving Billy with a fixation on punishing the naughty.
Take a closer look at yourself in the mirror, Billy.
Which manifests when he gets a job.
I don't bring toys to naughty children. I punish them severely.
And walks in on his co-workers. Joe Pesci is being naughty. This is what you get for assaulting women. This is what you get for allowing yourself to be assaulted. In a better film, this might be valid social commentary. This is what you get for owning a shop in which assaults happen. This is what you get for... oh, I don't know. As we pointed out in our review, it's not the most consistent mantra.
There you are, yes!
That cat was waiting out in the cold for ages.
Was Billy being naughty?
That's the film's essential dichotomy.
Punish!
More murders.
Let's jump ahead.
Let's.
But we have covered this already. Finally, Billy is punished. Right in front of young Ricky.
Naughty.
The flashbacks continue, but now they're new to this film, charting the development of Ricky's psychosis.
This is me, huh?
Okay, we may have changed the music. Ricky grows up into a normal, well-adjusted peeping Tom.
You're such a pig.
Yeah.
I hope Santa's not watching.
Maybe I'm tired of you always grabbing at me.
This romantic scene turns dark,
God damn it, Eddie, stop it!
triggering Ricky's recollections of Billy's memories.
Naughty.
And...
Thank you.
this is starting to freak out the psychologist, already at a disadvantage owing to his lack of peripheral vision.
Going too fast for you, Doc.
The flashbacks continue, Ricky punishing the naughty. Guess where I'm putting this? He he enters his biker phase. Uneasy rider. Meeting the love of his legs, the legs of his life, her. His one shot at a normal relationship. They go to the pictures together.
It's about this guy who dresses up like Santa Claus and kills people.
That's just bad luck. You may have noticed a certain unnuanced quality in Ricky's acting.
You're good, Doc. But I know all the moves.
He's angry at everything.
So I got a job.
And apparently there was some sort of discrepancy in the direction that he was receiving, which might excuse it.
But hey, that's life.
But it's important not to get so caught up in how bleeding awful he is when there are scenes like this one.
Guess who?
Chip. Yuck.
80s ex-boyfriends were the worst.
You stood me up. You cheated on me. You ruined my best sweater.
And it's important not to get so caught up in the mass recycling of footage that you ignore how dreadful everything else is.
Let's get out of here.
No. I'm beginning to like this picture.
First thing to understand about Silent Night, Deadly Night Part 2, it makes Part 1 look like Citizen Kane.
Punish!
Uh-oh.
Did she just say uh-oh? Having killed his girlfriend and her ex, Ricky is confronted by the cops.
I know how to use this.
Although I may have missed the class on how it works from a distance.
What the hell's all that noise out there?
And his spree begins. His performance now set at Terminator with a screw loose. The important thing for a budding psychopath is finding the right catchphrase.
Garbage day! Huh? No! Bingo!
Note the laser-like focus on Christmas and punishing the naughty. Back to the present.
Sorry things worked out this way, Henry. You only wanted to help. I appreciate the effort, though.
Quite lacks security for a serial killer, and he lets himself out.
Santa's back.
Finally! Ricky tracks down the abusive Mother Superior, who has suffered a stroke. A really brutal stroke. Here's Ricky!
I'm really mad now!
I was getting that impression. Here's Ricky! Again. Finally, he achieves his ultimate goal, finding the perfect catchphrase.
Naughty this!
Punish this would probably have been more apposite, but if that works for you, stick with it. No need to come up with something else when the cops arrive. Moo? And so his last word is an impression of a cow. Merry Christmas.
This movie's so bogus.
Thanks for watching. If you didn't get the presents you want for Christmas, have no fear. Dark Corners and the Universal Library have got you covered. We've got t-shirts, quiz books, horror novels, and merch galore. Treat yourself, unless you've been naughty. I haven't seen the rest of the Silent Night, Deadly Night series. Is it worth checking out? Let us know in the comments below.
You like this stuff?